Japan, a nation renowned for its cultural richness and technological prowess, also bears the weight of historical tragedies. While some events, like the devastating 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, remain vivid in global memory, others linger in relative obscurity. This essay delves into three lesser-known catastrophic events that have left indelible marks on Japan's landscape and psyche: the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Meiji Restoration, and the 2011 Tohoku disaster. Through exploring these events, we gain a deeper understanding of the resilience of the Japanese people, their capacity for rebuilding, and the enduring lessons etched into their national narrative. August 1945. World War II raged, leaving a trail of destruction across the globe. On August 6th, a blinding flash over Hiroshima, Japan, announced a terrifying new chapter in warfare. The United States had detonated an atomic bomb, instantly killing an estimated 80,000 people and obliterating the city center. 3 days later, a second atomic bomb fell on Nagasaki, claiming approximately 40,000 lives. The immediate impact of these attacks was catastrophic. Buildings vaporized, leaving behind only their foundations. Thousands perished in the searing heat and shockwaves. The bombings unleashed a wave of suffering that extended far beyond the immediate blast zones. Survivors, known as hibakusha, faced horrific burns, radiation sickness, and long-term health complications. The psychological trauma of witnessing such devastation left deep scars on individuals and communities. The use of atomic weapons on civilian populations sparked global outrage and ignited a debate about the morality of such destructive force. The aftermath of the atomic bombings presented Japan with unprecedented challenges. Cities lay in ruins. The healthcare system struggled to cope with the overwhelming number of injured and sick. The long-term effects of radiation exposure emerged slowly, casting a shadow of fear and uncertainty over survivors. The bombings also had profound geopolitical implications. Japan's surrender to the Allied forces marked the end of World War II, but it ushered in a new era defined by the Cold War and the threat of nuclear annihilation. Over time, Hiroshima and Nagasaki transformed into symbols of peace and the devastating consequences of nuclear war. Memorials and museums stand as solemn reminders of the human cost of conflict and the urgent need for disarmament. The hibakusha, often ostracized and discriminated against in the early post-war years, emerged as powerful voices against nuclear proliferation, sharing their experiences and advocating for a world free from nuclear weapons. While the atomic bombings represent a stark and well-known tragedy, other events in Japan's past, though less widely recognized, were equally transformative. The Meiji Restoration, beginning in 1868, marked a period of radical change that propelled Japan from a feudal society into the modern world. This political and social revolution led to the overthrow of the Tokugawa shogunate, a feudal military government that had ruled Japan for centuries. Emperor Meiji, a figurehead during the shogunate, was restored to power, and the country embarked on a path of rapid modernization and westernization. The Meiji Restoration brought about sweeping changes in all aspects of Japanese life. The feudal system was abolished and a new centralized government was established. The economy underwent rapid industrialization, with factories and railroads springing up across the country. Education was reformed along Western lines, and Japan embraced Western technology and ideas in fields ranging from medicine to military science. Tradition confronts modernity, the human cost of transformation. While the Meiji Restoration ultimately transformed Japan into a global power, this period of profound change came at a cost. The dismantling of the feudal system left many samurai, the warrior class, without their traditional roles and privileges. Some samurai adapted to the new order, finding employment in the government or military, while others struggled to find their place in a rapidly changing society. The rapid pace of industrialization led to the exploitation of workers, many of whom toiled in harsh conditions for meager wages. Social unrest and protests erupted as different groups grappled with the consequences of modernization. Farmers, burdened by heavy taxes, rose up in rebellion. Intellectuals debated the merits of westernization, with some embracing it wholeheartedly and others lamenting the loss of traditional Japanese values. The Meiji Restoration, though ultimately successful in modernizing Japan, left in its wake a complex legacy of progress and upheaval. Nature's wrath. The Tohoku earthquake and tsunami. On March 11, 2011, a magnitude 9.0 earthquake, one of the most powerful ever recorded, struck off the coast of Japan's Tohoku region. The earthquake triggered a massive tsunami, with waves reaching heights of over 130 feet that crashed ashore along hundreds of miles of coastline. The combined forces of the earthquake and tsunami unleashed unimaginable destruction. Entire towns were obliterated, homes and businesses reduced to rubble, and infrastructure crippled. The official death toll exceeded 15,000, with thousands more still missing and presumed dead. The disaster displaced hundreds of thousands of people, leaving them homeless and grappling with the loss of loved ones and livelihoods. The Tohoku earthquake and tsunami served as a stark reminder of the raw power of nature and the vulnerability of even the most technologically advanced societies. A nation inundated, the immediate aftermath of disaster. In the immediate aftermath of the disaster, Japan faced a scene of unimaginable devastation. The sheer scale of the destruction was overwhelming. Debris stretched for miles, a grim testament to the force of the tsunami. Rescue workers and volunteers from across Japan and around the world rushed to the affected areas, working tirelessly to search for survivors, provide medical assistance, and distribute food, water, and other essential supplies. The Japanese government mobilized its resources, deploying the self-defense forces to assist with rescue and relief efforts. However, the scale of the disaster tested the limits of the country's disaster preparedness and response capabilities. Communication networks were down, transportation infrastructure was crippled, and hospitals were overwhelmed with casualties. In the face of this unprecedented crisis, the Japanese people demonstrated remarkable resilience and community spirit. Facing the invisible threat, the Fukushima nuclear crisis. As if the earthquake and tsunami were not catastrophic enough, the disaster triggered another crisis that would have long-term consequences. The Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, located on the coast of Fukushima Prefecture, suffered a major meltdown following the tsunami. The plant's cooling systems failed, leading to a series of explosions and the release of radioactive material into the environment. The Fukushima nuclear disaster was the most severe nuclear accident since Chernobyl in 1986, and it raised serious concerns about the safety of nuclear power, particularly in seismically active regions. The Japanese government established an exclusion zone around the Fukushima plant, forcing tens of thousands of people to evacuate their homes and businesses. The long-term health effects of radiation exposure remain a concern, and the process of decommissioning the damaged reactors is expected to take decades and cost billions of dollars. The Fukushima disaster had a profound impact on Japan's energy policy, leading to a re-evaluation of the country's reliance on nuclear power and a push towards renewable energy sources. From rubble to recovery, the spirit of Ganbaru. Despite the immense challenges they faced, the Japanese people responded to the Tohoku disaster with characteristic resilience and a spirit of collective action. The concept of, which encompasses perseverance, endurance, and a determination to never give up, became a rallying cry for the nation. Communities came together to support one another, sharing scarce resources, offering comfort, and working tirelessly to rebuild their shattered lives. The Japanese government, with the support of international aid organizations and foreign governments, launched a massive reconstruction effort. Billions of dollars were poured into rebuilding infrastructure, housing, and businesses. The process of recovery was slow and arduous, but the determination of the Japanese people to overcome adversity was evident in every aspect of their efforts. Remembering to rebuild. Lessons from tragedy. The catastrophic events explored in this essay, from the atomic bombings to the Tohoku disaster, have left indelible marks on Japan's history and national consciousness. They serve as stark reminders of the fragility of human life, the destructive power of both human conflict and natural disasters, and the enduring capacity of the human spirit to endure and rebuild. Japan's experience with these tragedies offers valuable lessons for the world. The atomic bombings highlight the urgent need for nuclear disarmament and the importance of diplomacy in resolving international conflicts. The Meiji Restoration, while ultimately successful, underscores the complexities and potential social costs of rapid modernization. And the Tohoku disaster serves as a reminder of the importance of disaster preparedness, the need for resilient infrastructure, and the power of community in the face of adversity. Conclusion: resilience forged in the crucible of disaster. Through examining these catastrophic events, we gain a deeper appreciation for the resilience of the Japanese people, their ability to confront adversity with courage and determination, and their unwavering commitment to rebuilding their lives and communities. The stories of survival, loss, and recovery from these disasters offer powerful lessons about the human condition, the importance of collective action, and the enduring power of hope in the face of tragedy. As Japan continues to grapple with the legacies of these events, their experiences serve as a poignant reminder of the importance of learning from the past, preparing for the future, and working towards a safer and more peaceful world.